I'm Anil Kumar, and in this video we will learn how to find absolute maximum and minimum for an absolute function. The question here is, find the critical numbers of the function f of x equals to absolute value of x. That's the first part. And the second part is, find the absolute maximum and minimum values of f of x in the interval -1 to 2, closed interval. You can always pause the video, answer the question, and then look into my suggestions. So let's begin by constructing the graph of the function absolute x, which, as you know, will look something like this, right? We'll define this function as a piecewise function. F of x is equals to absolute x. It really means that it is equals to x if x is greater than or equal to 0 and minus of x when x is less than 0, right? So a straight line y equals to x is reflected when x is negative, so you get always positive value. Now to find the critical number, we should find the derivative of this function, right? So derivative of this function is derivative of x is 1 when x is greater than or equal to 0 and is minus 1 when x is less than 0. You can see slope of these lines. The one on the right side has positive slope of 1. The one on the left side has negative slope of -1, right? Okay. Now at 0, what is the derivative of the function? At 0, it is not defined since it is a corner, right? You can see it is a corner. So f dash 0 does not exist. Critical numbers are the numbers where either the derivative is 0 or it does not exist, right? So what are critical numbers? Let's define that. Critical numbers are where the derivative is equal to 0 or it does not exist, correct? So from here, we find that the critical number is at x equals to 0. So we have a critical number x equals to 0 for the given situation. Now let's look into part 2, which says find the absolute maximum and minimum values of f of x in the interval -1 to 2. So let us say this position is at -1 and here we have at 2. So at -1, the value is going to be 1. At 2, it is going to be 2, correct? Now to find absolute maximum and minimum in a closed interval, what do we need to do? We need to find points, the value of the points at the end points, that is at -1. So f of -1, when you substitute in absolute x, -1, you get 1. F of 2 will be absolute value of 2, which is 2. And f of 0, the critical number, right, is 0. Compare these 3 points. When you compare the values of these 3, you can figure out that absolute maximum is at x equals to 2, right? So the value is 2, right? At x equals to 2, the value is 2. For absolute minimum, the minimum value is at 0. So it is at origin, 0, 0, right? So that is how you can find absolute maximum and absolute minimum. So you can write on our answers, and the answer is find the absolute maximum and minimum values of this function. So the values are, we can write absolute maximum. What is the value? Value is 2, right? And absolute minimum value is 0, correct? So that is how you can find the answer. I hope that helps. Thank you and all the best.